Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this brand new series of Hearts of Iron 4. Over the past couple of weeks, I have been travelling around Europe, and this has given me a rather good idea of who to play as next. Now, the countries I visited were Czech Republic, Poland, and Germany. However, the country that I thought I would play as right now is Poland, one of the unsung heroes of World War II. Even though they were defeated by the Germans and the Soviets, they then fought for France, and then after France fell, they then fought for the United Kingdom, so they are pretty hardcore. However, we are kind of hoping not to get to that position. We're going to see if we can hold firm in Poland. So, looking at Poland right now, they don't have anything particularly special. However, I do have the DLC, the pre-release DLC, which I believe gives them unique national focuses. So they should be rather more playable than some of the other minor nations, for example, the Netherlands or Denmark or whoever like that. So let's jump in. We are playing this on veteran difficulty because I think it just makes the game so much more interesting, because you actually have to kind of focus on what technologies and the like to research, and the enemies are usually a bit stronger. It is obviously going to make this rather more difficult, but hey, I'm up for the challenge. We are also playing with historical focuses, which means that Germany will be declaring war on us in 39, basically before anyone else. And that means that we need to try and buddy up to the Allies before that happens. Or we could actually ourselves play ahistorical, because I believe that the Poles do have the ability to create their own faction. Let's see. Polish shipbuilding, strengthen Polish state. Here we go. Internationalism, which means that you have more likely trade or more national unity. No, it's not that. How do you... Oh, there you go. Draw closer to Britain. Go right, go left. Oh, I see. So you could actually join Germany or the Soviets. And here you go. This is the other treaty way. So you can either go Poland or international, and we'll be going probably international. I think it would be a bit too easy if we decided to join up with Germany and Italy. And I kind of like the challenge of fighting off Germany and then eventually probably the Soviets as well. So we are going to have quite the challenge ahead of us. So what are the options here? We get research bonus for industry, more building slots, more industry, more military factories. There's the additional research, and there's the other one. 4-year plan, faster construction, civilian factory, infrastructure, military factory. You know what? I think that we should probably... Because I think... Do we need both to get this? One of the following, so we can get there or through here. Although we probably want all of those factories if we can get to them. And then, of course, we want to get the defensive focus eventually, which means that we build forts more quickly and factories more quickly. That gives us more political power, national spirit, deterrence. You know what? I kind of like the idea of this, and we can just build our own factories, and then we can switch over to the 4-year plan central region strategy. Land doctrine, infantry weapons, motorized, land doctrine. I'm mostly looking for national spirits to see if there are any bigger bonuses. Does not look like it. There you go, internationalism, that's one. Deterrence, that's one. And then we can either go authoritarian, which allows us to ally with Germany or the USSR, or with the Allies. I think we'll probably go more or less historic, as I've been saying, so we'll go with the Allies. There you go. Grants divisions required for sending... Oh, I see, so you can send more volunteers. Well, I like keeping control of my troops, though. So, yeah, I think we're going to start with strengthen the Polish state, defensive focus. And then once we have defensive focus, then we can start switching to the industry. Are there any other requirements? No. All right, we're going to start with this one then. Marvelous. Research. What are we going to research? Industrial ones are the obvious one to start with, so we'll go with you and you and you. Okay, that's those done. And then we have got a bunch of free factories. And I don't think there's much point in starting to produce civilian factories at this point. We basically just need to start pumping these bad boys out. So we're going to start building kind of here in the middle region, so we don't immediately get bombarded. Probably will be attacked from down here, so we probably can hold them. You know what, we're going to have a couple more back here. The Soviets will backstab us at some point. How many factories do we have? We have 17, so we can start building just one because we still have a fairly civilian orientated law, I would guess. Volunteer, export focus, civilian economy. Yeah, we do. So we probably want to try and change that as soon as is possible. We can do that when world tension rises. I don't think we're going to bother with any aircraft whatsoever. I think we're basing... I'm already kind of shaking about this because I don't really know what the plan will be. I think we're going to be doing a very defensive war, much like we did with the French. However, I don't think our industry is going to be quite as well established. How many factories do we have right now? 9. Compared to them with... actually, they start with like none. 6. They do have a lot of civilian factories once they start ramping up, but France is very likely to fall as well. Although if we hold the line, then maybe the French will be able to hold the line, at least until the Germans go through Benelux. We will be attacking. We will be attacked. This front, and probably this front, maybe even this front, and eventually this front. So we are going to be attacked everywhere except, well, maybe even here as well if the Baltics fall to the Soviets. So we are completely surrounded, which is why the Polish situation is rather difficult. I think we basically just need more weapons. The reason I'm kind of hesitating here is I'm thinking about whether we want to have lots of artillery or not, or whether we just want large infantry divisions. We have a population of 31 million. What's your population, out of interest? Can I even tell? Not sure I can. Is there a way of seeing the German population anywhere? I just want to compare. Does not look like it. Oh, there it is. But that's just that province, isn't it? Yes. Does it say total anywhere? Would have expected it to be in here. I'm not sure. It's been a couple of weeks since I played this last, so I might just be being stupid, but let me know in the comments if there is a way of seeing the relative populations between people. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but I'm not sure where. Alright, well, anyway, the reason I needed to know that was whether we wanted to go for a manpower-heavy defensive thing or whether we wanted to get more motorized and mechanized. I suspect that we are going to suffer big problems with our industry. So just throwing manpower at the enemy is probably the way to go. How are our divisions looking right now? They are pretty heavy, 18 combat width, so we could theoretically add another artillery, which added to 21. Not really. We have no stuff there. We have recon. We probably do want you digging in. I think we probably will go fairly high. Manpower units. We currently have Grand Battle Plan, which gives us trench warfare, max entrenchment. I was kind of thinking about superior firepower. All infantry, motorized, mechanized get more defense. Recovery rate. Soft attack. Now, what are we going to be fighting? We're going to be fighting the Soviets on one front, which will definitely have lots of infantry. We'll also be fighting the Germans with more tanks. I'm very tempted to try these. Shock and awe, soft attack, recon, recovery, organization, soft attack, hard attack, soft attack, hard attack, army, tanks and armor. Air support plus 20%. See, I'm not convinced that we'll have much of an air force. Infiltration's more aggressive. This... I'm very, very tempted to go for this. 20% more soft attack. Because we will be fighting the German infantry mostly in the beginning, but they will be increasingly mechanized as the battle goes on. You know what? We're going to start building some artillery. Although, in fact, what we could do is build anti-tank, because that fulfills a similar role, I believe. Am I able to do 80? Not yet. Can I compare them anywhere? I think so. In here? Nope. In here? Nope. Here. Here we go. So, anti-tank, your ability is that. Meanwhile, artillery is that. So, defense. Artillery has much better defense. Soft attack. Artillery is much better soft attack. Piercing. Obviously, anti-tank is much better. Hard attack 15, hard attack 2. No, I think we're just going to go shock and awe with lots of cannon, and hopefully we can play somewhat defensively that way. So we're going to have large infantry units for sheer hit points, and then lots of artillery for dropping shells. And in fact, there is a third one, because apparently AA can kind of do both. So let's compare AA to artillery. So that would be you and you. Holding down shift allows you to see both. So anti-tank defense 4, defense 10, hard attack 7, hard attack 2, soft attack 3, soft attack 30. So they don't have nearly as good a soft attack, but they do have the hard attack. Now I'm expecting the British Air Force and the American Air Force eventually to be sitting in my air bases, especially if and when France falls. So I'm fully expecting the Allies to be covering us in the air, so we don't really need that. No, we're just going to go with towed artillery, and then hopefully the Germans don't throw too much armor at us. And if they do, then we can add maybe support anti-tank divisions, possibly. So we want that, and then we want lots of those. And that is our full system sorted. Dockyards. I think we probably just want submarines. Maybe even convoys. Probably convoys, actually, so we can get supplies coming in. Because we're going to be surrounded everywhere except in the Baltic. Okay, and do we want to start buying in materials? We could probably do with buying in some steel. But just one. And we'll buy them from, for the moment, France. And just one. Because I don't want to use up my civilian factories, because we're going to need them to bolster our own defenses. Okay, so that's done. We now need to assign our divisions. So, first of all, you and you. Actually, what is the terrain like? Mountains down here. Forests and open over here. Forest and open here. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting our mounted divisions to try and take over this area while our infantry hold the Germans off. So what I think I will do is we'll sort by type. We'll grab all of the mounted units. We'll put you in one division, And we will assign you here. All of you assigned. And I'll deal with the commanders in a minute. So you are the cavalry. I'll just call you mobile for the time being. And then we need the second army, which is going to be the majority of our troops. Oh, we could do a bit of training as well. That's another thing that we could do, and that will give us some army experience so we can modify the units slightly. Let's get all of our elite guys onto the German front. That's all of you. Your front is going to be that one, all assigned. And you are the Germany front. Then we're going to need some troops down here as well, and some troops on the Soviet side, just so they don't get any ideas. So we'll have these guys on the Soviet side. And yes, we will need to start pumping out divisions pretty darn soon. And then let's get everyone who's not currently attached, and we'll put you on the southern flank. That's all of you. New army, and we'll call you Southern. And we will place you on that front. All assigned. Okay, so that's you guys done. Mobile. Now, do we have anyone who's good at attacking? I think that's going to be your job. You are going to be our main defensive guy, which will be you. You're a field marshal. Oh, we have... yeah, you are. Interesting. Okay. Combat with 10%, max planning 10%. So you'll be more of an attacky person. You'll be more of a... you could do both, honestly. And then reconnaissance. You are the most skilled, but you have no abilities whatsoever. So this is the Soviet front. Let's put you on the Soviet front. And then we'll put the reconnaissance guy, actually, on the southern front. Because that will give you bonuses for the mountain guys, I think. Alright, that's all of you done. We do actually want you all training. What's the hotkey? Okay. Alright, so you are all training. You should all be reassigned. That's good. Navies. We have 2 navies here. We have basically no ships. Fine, we'll just leave them for the moment. And then air forces, let's just disband these and then we'll reassign them as and when we need to. Because I'm not expecting our air forces to do very much. Okay, so I think we are basically in a position to unpause. Go. So our armies are relocating, then we can kind of have a good idea of how our different forces are looking in terms of positioning. So we have a very, very thin line on the Soviet line. We could shift some of these guys over if we need to. And the other thing I wanted to check on actually is to see just how many troops we have in the cavalry units. Not very many, so they're very weak. I'm very tempted just to convert them straight to infantry. How are we doing on production? All of our factories are in use. They're all building up their efficiency. Their efficiency is not going to be very high. And we are building convoys. Excellent. Right, so basically, yeah, we are just waiting for time to pass. Speaking of which, what are our possibilities here? We'll probably want this one, like, as soon as is possible, so that we can get more of the military factories up and running. We probably also want to get industrial concern. Maybe even... we have no geniuses. Old Guard. You get more political power for him, though. And honestly, the Navy is really not going to be very important. That's not actually a bad shout to get him in. Army defense, yeah, we almost certainly want him. Alright, so while this is kind of ticking over, I just want to talk about where I was. So, first of all, flew into Prague, then took the train out to Ostrava, which is... I think where Slovakia is. They remilitarized the Rhineland already. Fantastic. And we have strengthened the Polish state, so we are going to go on to defensive focus so that we get the deterrence focus, which allows us to build forts more quickly and also military factories more quickly, both of which will be extremely useful because we are going to need to beef up our defenses rather a lot. Now I'm hoping to crush this area very, very quickly. We need to crush that so we can shift all of these troops over onto this front and probably this front. So you guys are basically just going to have to hold until reinforcements arrive, or you guys are probably going to be the main front. This is mountain, so I'm hoping it's going to be difficult to get through. We will ultimately need enough troops for each province, but after that it will stop. You guys are training. You guys have already trained, so we're going to stop you. Training and training. Okay. How do our mountain regiments look? Mountain divisions are actually pretty strong. Okay, that's good to know. We'll probably need to build a couple more of those as well. And we can modify the government already. Which means we want the war industrialist. Definitely. Oh yes, of course, because we got the bonus numbers. How's production going? Slowly but surely. So, honestly, I think we just need to churn out more infantry weapons. Ethiopia has fallen. That was also a very quick defeat there. Aha, more research speed. Excellent. Reinforce rate or research time? We definitely want a research time. We want to see if we can get as much technology as is possible. I'm not really expecting to get a huge amount. What are the other focuses? So once this is done, do we want to continue on to liberalism? Does this give us anything? More democracy support. That's free political power, which would allow us to get another advisor, or possibly even shift our economy focus, or we could start on these and then begin getting these free factories, which I like the idea of, and we want to get that research slot as quickly as possible, so we'll probably go like that. May 36. Time's a ticking. How are you guys looking? Getting there. Okay, defensive focus has been completed, so we are now building military factories even more quickly, which is excellent. So let's start working on these. Which is the more important? Industry, I would say. So let's get that one first. Oh no, because we want the research slot. Never mind. I'm going to get that one first. Is there anything blocking us? Requires both of those. That's irritating. Alright. No worries, we can do that. Land doctrine. A bunch of forts. Those would be nice. Okay, we have machine tools, which is more production efficiency. And we should start focusing on these. Now, I'm expecting to be bombed the living daylights out of. So we probably do actually want dispersed industry, although I almost always think that concentrated is better. But we're just going to be in such the heart of the war that we kind of have to go with dispersed. we're going to be even more surrounded than Germany, basically. And Germany definitely wants dispersed, I think, so they can deal with strategic bombing. Because I think we're going to have the German strategic bombers hitting us rather than going for the UK. I assume. I don't know for sure. Maybe they'll just station their close support fighters over here. I don't know. Okay, Spanish Civil War has broken out. You know what I should have been doing? I should have been supporting the Republicans. Can I send you any volunteers? No, because we don't have the world tension yet. Speaking of which, just out of interest, when can I increase? So I could already get early mobilization, but do I want to wait for partial? I mean, honestly, when I'm at war, I can basically go from civilian to total straight away. Would that be too late? We probably do want to increase our conscription pretty soon as well. And then start pumping out more divisions. I think we'll start pumping out divisions in 37, because we're just going to need the blanket troops on the ground. We'll worry about whether they're properly trained and like later. We have good national unity though. It's going to take a lot for us to fall. Yes, this should be interesting. I really don't know what to expect from this playthrough. Things could go very, very well, or they could go horribly, horribly wrong. I'm kind of expecting the latter. Alright, it's still 36, so it's not quite time to go for that yet. Do we want reinforced rate? Do we want radar? No, I don't think we do. We don't want any of those. I did say I was going to go for superior firepower. We could get the improved artillery. I'm not going to bother with tanks. Too early for them. We could get support equipment. Yeah, we probably do need support equipment, actually, thinking about... We don't even have motorized. Crikey. Support equipment means our infantry will be stronger on the ground. 4-year plan. Okay, so we have research bonus for construction thingy. We want this one, so we can get another civilian factory. 1st of August, how are we doing for resources? We are still short on stuff, but I dare not use up more. I think we'll go 3 and a 5, something like that, as and when our factories are built. I mean, we are industrializing pretty rapidly. We build the military factories very, very quickly, actually. Does it say anywhere precisely how quickly? No. But we still have 8, 9, 10, 11 more queued up. And then we can queue up more than that after this is done, obviously. We could also edit some of our divisions. And I think we should. I think what I'm thinking is if we remove one of them and we add artillery. Let's work this out. I think something along these lines would be the best. So we're freeing up some more infantry, but we're also getting the attack damage. So this is reducing our hit points, obviously. Organization, unfortunately, massively increases our soft attack and our hard attack. Reduces the amount of infantry equipment. We will need 1,900 artillery to make up that, and we will also be gaining manpower, so we will be able to have more divisions. And we will also eventually want engineer companies so we can dig in more. I think that looks good. Make it happen. So we just used up the 10 army experience that we had saved up. We did gain back a bunch of manpower, which is good. This means we can throw out more troops. However, we do have a huge deficit in terms of artillery now. So what I'm thinking of doing actually is let's reduce you, do that, then that, then that. And we are now building up to getting some more artillery. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please do let me know in the comments section how you think this is going to go. If you have any ideas of what I should be doing, should I be buddying up to anyone? Should I be trying to befriend the Baltics? Although, I don't know. I mean, befriending some of these neighbouring factions wouldn't be a bad idea, but Czechoslovakia, for example, usually gets gobbled up through diplomatic envoys. I could be buddying up to the UK, though I'm fully intending to do that through the draw closer to Britain thing, which hopefully will get them to guarantee me. And yeah, I'm already on the way to getting that. It's the industry that I need at this point. How are we doing? Political power. Political power is getting there. Anyway, so yes, if you have any tips or advice for me, then please do let me know in the comments section below. I'm not quite confident enough to try and go our own faction. I think that we are going to join the Allies and fight this relatively normally. But this is Poland. We are quite literally surrounded by enemies. So it's going to be interesting to see precisely how this pans out. Anyway, I do hope that you will join me in future episodes, and I will catch you then. Goodbye.